played on. Played Northwestern High School for the Trojans, obviously best high school in Rock Hill. No objections or any kind of arguments there, so we're going to move past that. But no, played for the amazing Trojans and had a
Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy Armand back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast, man. I got another recommended guest, highly recommended by Dupree Hart, man. And another Rock Hill native, man. I heard his name growing up. Know he was a beast at baseball, man. Really, him, Dupree, Josh, I really known these guys, like, know their names based off baseball. I'm like, if you want to play baseball, it's like you got to be one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I saw, like, when I hear Josh Crump, I hear Dupree, and I hear Josh Massey, I'm like, man, them boys tough out there on that field. So it's like, definitely glad I could get you on the show, man. And I'm just going to give everybody a little rundown about you. So I got Josh Crump, age 26, coordinator with the Miami Marlins. He has his bachelor's in marketing, master's in business administration. He's been in his profession for 4 years now. So Josh, man, say what's up to the podcast, bro.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Listen, it's a pleasure to be here. Armand's my guy. I'm still going to be excited. It's going to be fun. Like I said, everyone stay tuned and definitely check out all the shows to come, man. Good dude.
Thank you for sure, man. Hey, it wouldn't be Big Boss Talk if we didn't jump right into it. We got to do 2 truths and a lie. I've been on point. I got, my last interview, I got a dub. I've been on a little losing streak for a while just because I've been getting new people. So maybe you can get me, maybe you can't, but we're going to hear it. Let's see what you got.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Cool. So first one, my family goes to Disney World every year. That's like our family trip.
Okay.
Next one, I share a birthday with Bob Marley.
Okay.
And then last one, I used to live in New York.
Ooh, wow, that's crazy.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So the family, you guys go to Disney every year. Like, that's the family trip.
Right.
Okay. Number 2, you share a birthday with Bob Marley. Number 3 is you used to live in New York.
Right. What you got?
I'm gonna go through each one of them. So I think I'm not sure. I always, when I get guests, I try to go through the social media, and I try to see, just try to see what they're about, just get an understanding. Maybe it brings questions, and I don't know if I can't remember if I saw a picture of y'all at Disney or not but I think that's true. I think that's an awesome, unique thing. That if you were to say that, I know it's true. I feel like that's the truth. Number 2, share birthday with Bob Marley. I don't even know when your birthday is, so I can't really say. And then you lived in New York, so I'm gonna say the Disney is not true. And the only reason I'm gonna say it's not true, I feel like y'all go often, but we talking about every year. I know y'all ain't go in 2020.
Why not? What was wrong in 2020?
They ain't shut Disney down.
No. Listen, you got it right. I'll give you that. You got it right. So that is my lie. Listen, if you anyone in Rock Hill knows my pops, Herb Crump, Pastor Herb, he does not do lines. Okay, so anytime amusement parks, themed, nothing. He doesn't do roller coasters. He's a very stay-at-home dude. So, every year we do not go to Disney. But there is the one thing. We used to go on Disney cruises, but only because he didn't have to do nothing but sit on the boat.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, no, my other 2 are definitely true. I share a birthday with Bob Marley, February 6th. Okay. That's my guy, like-minded in a lot of ways. So a lot of his teachings, I feel like, it's sharing a birthday makes sense. Exactly. Yeah. And then I used to live in New York. I would spend summers and a long time in there when I was growing up. My family is originally from New York. So, I'd go up there with my cousins, grandparents, and just stay with them for the longest time sometimes. So, Yeah, no, that was my two truths.
That's dope,
I give
man.
you that. Listen, start your streak then.
Hey, I started my streak. You know what's crazy? Because I really was gonna go with the New York, but then I was just like, I don't know what made me think of like not every year. I guess I just thought about 2020. I was like, yeah, I don't know if you went that year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, I didn't know it was the fact that your pops just doesn't do lines. So he's just like, nah, we're not doing that.
No, I go to Disney. Epcot's my favorite thing to do now. Going around to the different countries is probably recommended for everybody over 21. That is. I'm just saying, it's a great time.
I believe it. And so, how did y'all get from New York to South Carolina? Like,
so Pop's whole side is from New York, Mount Vernon, Mount Vernon, New York, home of all the stars and people that you probably didn't even know from Mount Vernon. Diddy, JB Smoove, Heavy D. Like, no,
that's crazy. I did not know that.
Exactly.
Did not know that.
Originally from there, my grandfather had a church up there, but my pops actually got sent down here to play drums once when a youth church, and met my mom's in Charleston at the same church. So he never went back to New York until later on. So yeah, no, we connected in South Carolina and then made his way back up north.
That's a beautiful story, man.
And then way back down. So yeah, no, it's awesome.
Beautiful. So we're gonna hop right into it, man. Josh, I really want to know a little bit about you, man. Like kind of just your upbringing. How did you get into baseball, man? Just like if you were to, how people always in interviews they always ask like, tell me a little bit about yourself, right? What you got for me? Tell me a little bit about you.
So I already pointed out I'm 26, born in 1996, but just growing up in a very level-headed household, man. I had a pastor as a father, a psychotherapist as a mother, and just having that kind of just mentality of knowing that everything's going to be straight. I had a strong religion growing up. So throughout my life, God has been an impact on everything I do and every decision I make. But like you said, baseball is something that I took hold to and grew love for early on, around 4 or 5. And it's brought me my best friends. Our boy, Josh Massey, I met when we were, I think, like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And Dupree when I was like 10. And that brotherhood and that bond I built just from baseball is something I've taken with me every team I've gone on, played Northwestern High School for the Trojans, obviously best high school in Rock Hill. No objections or any kind of arguments there, so we're gonna move past that. But no, played for the amazing Trojans and had the opportunity to go play collegiately at Coastal Carolina University. A great opportunity for myself. Always saw myself trying to play collegiately and had different offers at different schools, and Coastal felt like home to me. Obviously being able to stay home and stay close to mom was definitely a positive, but also not too close where she couldn't pop up whenever she wanted to.
Yeah.
Coastal was a great fit. Being by the beach wasn't bad. Focus was definitely a challenge, so we got through it. I will say that twice. I was able to get my master's and my bachelor's from there. And then after that, just was able to find my way into another role into baseball, which is now working in the front office for a Major League Baseball team, Miami Marlins. So being able to, I guess, move up and down the East Coast has been something that's grown me and put me in a position that's kind of, I guess, emphasized being well-rounded and being able to communicate and move in certain circles and be able to be the certain person you need to be. So it's been a journey so far, and the process is amazing.
Man, that's a great elevator pitch, bro. You got me excited. Like I would hire you right then and there. Like if I was sitting there like, man, this guy is nice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Great elevator pitch. Look like you've been working on it for a while, but a lot to unpack, in that, because you talked about pops being a pastor, and then your mom being a psychotherapist. What was it like, just kind of growing up, as a PK, right? I know all the PKs get these stereotypes and all types of stuff. Like, what was that like? Did you have to deal with that, kind of growing up?
Yeah, of course I dealt with it. But I dealt with almost every aspect of it. I dealt with the positive side. I was loved by everybody, and not even just like, oh, he's the pastor's son type deal, but no, it was genuine love from the congregation and from everybody, the family. They really helped raise me to a certain point. So, no, the church is something that has always been, lo and behold, in my heart, and just I'll owe everything to them as well. But like it was definitely a challenge in certain aspects as well. There's a certain rope they expect you to walk and try to be a certain way. But honestly, my pops was so open with everything I did and just gave me kind of that freedom and that kind of headway to be able to be my own person and not have to rely on being at church all the time. I would play travel ball between the ages of 11 to about 18. Mm-hmm. I missed church half the time. Wow. And there were times where he would dip out on church a little early, come catch a game if it was close enough. So like having that support was like, yeah, like they let my father be a father. So like I said, it was fun being a PK, honestly.
Man, that's awesome, man. Like just seeing the level and shout out to your dad, man, because what's crazy is I've actually been to the church. I think me and my wife went one time. We know some people that go to you guys' church. It's been a minute and I can't remember, but I've been to the church and everything, and I've actually met your pops, and he's such a great dude, and just very much just down to earth, and so it's good to hear, like, even though you dealt with all aspects of being a PK, but your dad still gave you that grace and allowed you to he understood, like, he's gonna go through his life, he's gonna make mistakes, but that doesn't, just because I'm a pastor and he's my son doesn't mean he's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I think Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it comes from his background himself. He wasn't perfect growing up. So growing up in Mount Vernon and like being in trouble, high school dropout. He'll tell his story to anybody, but high school dropout, GED student, joined the Army, ended up getting kicked out the Army, like just moving all types of ways, but still being able to keep his faith strong and be able to, I guess, pick himself up on his own with something. Like he's like, yo, you got this. So he's always had that in me.
Man, that's so awesome, man. So talk to me about, obviously, we picked up the game of baseball at a very young age. Like, what are some of the things that, playing a team sport teaches you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have this belief or ideology that, playing a team sport teaches you so much about life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I talk to people that are athletes that play team sports, and I can tell, like, we're here mentally. If I talk to somebody that sometimes may have not played a team sport, sometimes we don't, I can click with anybody, but I can tell that you never played a team sport or anything like that. And so what are some of the things, that you feel like you learned just being, a team sport guy and just being an athlete in general?
You can't do anything alone in life, bro. There's nothing there's certain things you might need to kind of go on a journey and do yourself, but at the end of the day, you're going to need those around you and those that care about you to actually want to see you succeed. And that's what a team is. Yeah. It's a group of people who want to see each other succeed for the greater of the group. And honestly, it's just made me a great team player, being able to cooperate and learn how to just work with different people of different backgrounds. That just, like, obviously you got to handle one situation with someone differently than you handle with someone else. It's that cooperativeness that kind of just like, it forces you to do. Yeah. So that was definitely something I enjoyed about sports, and obviously just all the winning and accolades and all the acknowledgement is something that's a good character builder for kids, especially growing up. So being able to have that confidence boost at an early age is something that helps you definitely push a child early in life. So that's what I always encourage. Like, that's why we'll talk about it later. But like, obviously in my career, I'm working with kids, and being able to have that influence on the next generation is something I take pride in. So sports is everything for me.
That's dope, man. Sports, I believe, is like that common denominator amongst all race, religion, like, especially when everything that's been transpiring, everything that's been going on, like, with sports, I look at athletes, like, if everybody had an athlete type of mentality where, you my brother, it don't matter where you from, like, we get along. The locker room, you know what I'm saying? Like, having a ball, just chopping it up, going out to eat. I miss, playing sports, man. It's something about me that, like, I just miss it. And sometimes even when I don't work out, like, it takes a toll on me mentally, because I'm like, man, I got to get back in that energy when we was in there working out, we grinding together, we sweating together, we just doing everything together. And it's just like, man, I miss it. But you start growing up, you get older, and everybody kind of just start to do their own thing. No love is lost, but it's just like we're not hanging together 24/7 like we used to.
Exactly. We don't need to be on top of each other. We don't need to do everything together anymore. We got our own little path we need to go on. The world's much bigger than just this team. Let's go do our thing. But like you said, no love lost. Like, you can hit up the same dude you were on the same team with 10 years ago. Nothing's changed. Because it's that brotherhood, and so that time spent together. It's like, yo, we've been through stuff. I get it. You're my guy, so I definitely feel you.
I love it, man. So what did you actually want to be like growing up, man? I asked because everybody's perspective is a little bit different. Like me, I thought I was going to be an engineer. I never, just saying engineer. I want to be a electrical engineer, and I think most of that came to my uncle is a civil engineer, and everybody kind of compared me to my uncle as far as in regards of, oh, he's gonna do great things. He's gonna, the pressure just it just kind of starts to build up, and I was just like, okay, well maybe I should just, I'm gonna be an engineer. I'm good at math, I'm good with numbers, whatever. But I found out that engineering has, it has a lot to do with numbers, but it's not what I thought it was. It's very much more meticulous and a little bit more advanced. And I was just like, I don't think that's for me. So what did you want to be growing up? What did you think you were going to be?
Honestly, it was hit or miss every time. Like, I was changing my future goals like every 2 or 3 years, just because, like I said, my family was so encouraging what I wanted to do. They're like, sure, you want to do that? Go do it. Something else changed. Sure, go do that too. So now the one thing that definitely stuck with me the most growing up is, funny you say engineer. I wanted to be an architect.
Wow.
Growing up, it was like you said, I love math. Numbers made sense to me more than letters. And then I was pretty nice drawing wise. So I'm like, you know what, let's combine that and see where we can go. But then same thing, it was kind of like there's way more into it that I didn't think about. So it was like, you know what, let's see how far we can swing this bat and see where that's going to take us first, and then make our way back into it. But even once I got into high school and going more to college route, I studied exercise sports science. I wanted to be an athletic trainer.
Okay.
And then same thing kind of happened. I got an idea of what it was, especially from like playing sports in high school. I spent a lot of time with my trainer in high school, and we were able to just talk about what's going on. But she didn't explain to me all the coursework that comes before it. And when I say anatomy 232 will always stick in my head, because there was a time where the professor said, you have 4 grades in this class. They're all exams. Whole class is lecture. By the second exam, I was like, we got to change majors.
Yeah, we out of here.
Exactly. Yeah, like, we got to change majors. So then I made my way to marketing, and it was broad enough for me to be able to pretty much explore whatever I wanted to go from there, and was able to find my way towards like sports and business marketing. And yeah, that's kind of where we're in that space now.
Man, everybody got that one class, like anatomy 232, gonna be the death of my little dream. So not your dream, but then I had trigonometry 1 and 2 in the same semester. I said, we could dead this right now. I need to stop course correct real quick. I need to figure out what I need to do, where I need to go. This is not it. And so it's funny that you say that, because again, a lot of people that listen to the podcast, like for me, even myself, sometimes I dealt with, I need to know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I get out in this world, I want to, I need to have a defined idea of how I'm going to be successful, because I knew one thing. I knew, for one, I wasn't, once I left home, I wasn't trying to go back. Right. And a lot of people don't want to go back. And I think going back can humble, it can humble anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I just knew I didn't want to do it. And I knew too, if I was going to be out here, I got to be able to stand on my own, and be able to take care of myself. And then if I get my lady, my wife, now I got to be able to take care of her as well. So it's like, I need to figure out how to make this money, but things don't work. You know what I'm saying? God throws wrinkles, closes doors to open up other doors, bigger doors. And my whole thing about the podcast is I want people to see that everybody doesn't have it figured out. You know what I'm saying? Like, social media will show you that people are doing this, doing that, being successful, but then they don't see the mental hit, personally, that you don't even know. Like, you don't know what happens behind closed doors. If they crying, they had to sell their soul to get to where they was at. None of that. So it's always crazy to me that, like, I love hearing people say, well, I wanted to do this, but I changed. I wanted to do this, but I changed. And I think like if we can embrace change and show people, like, bro, it's okay to change your mind and just pivot.
Always.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. No, change is important. Change is necessary in all aspects of life. You should never want to be content with where you're at. I'm not saying where you're at's a bad place, but like, you should never think like this is as best as it's going to get for me, because it's not. Right. So like you said, just having that mentality of keep going. And even social media thing is a whole different animal, because you're seeing what they want you to see. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a struggle. You're not going to see exactly the time they put into getting to where they're at. So yeah, no, it's a trip out here, man.
For sure, man. It gets dangerous, man. It's a little spooky if you think about it, because even myself, I get caught up sometimes. Like I know for me, I post when I'm, everybody posts when they snazzy, going out, doing this, and it looks good. And for the people outside looking in, they see it's like, oh, he's living, he's doing good for himself. And granted, I'm blessed, but I also I worry, I doubt, you know what I'm saying? Doubt myself constantly, so it's little small stuff that people don't know. And it's just like, you don't know how far or what somebody has to do to get to where they are right currently. So that's pretty awesome. But marketing, what did you love about marketing? You changed from being an architect, what drew you into marketing?
Being able to uplift and promote something that you actually believe in, like being able to be a part of a project or part of a team and actually be behind something that's actually going to better either humanity, either like a certain cause, just something that has meaning to it. And it's just marketing, like I said, it's a broad thing. So when I was able to kind of specify exactly what I want to move to, more so business marketing, like I said, it's like product placement. Certain things that we didn't know much about intrigued me. Like now it's hard for me to watch TV and not see a Coke can sitting there like, dang, they got me. Now, and I'm like, and little things like that kind of trigger things. So that's why I was kind of more intrigued with marketing, just the aspect of being able to move things without people understanding exactly what's happening. Yeah, it's a show.
That's dope. Like understanding the science, and I think with marketing, you get to see the science behind every little piece. It's not like a lot of people think that things are done like, oh, they just put that right there. But somebody thought about, okay, I'm gonna put it right here because it's gonna do this. People gonna see it. It's gonna make them do this. Like the Super Bowl commercial. I forgot who had the commercial. It was just a QR code bouncing around. I'm like,
that threw me off. I was watching the game and everyone just stopped. They're like, yo, we gonna fix this or not? Like, no one had any idea. We're changing channels. Trying like, yo, the game's on right now. I was pissed when I saw that QR code and then found out I missed out on money. So that was a whole nother. That was definitely stuck out with me.
Bro, it got me so good because I ended up scanning the QR code. I'm like, man, I did exactly what they wanted us to wanted to do. Like they got me. So like $1 million well invested, on the QR code on something simple like that. So, and with marketing. So what why Coastal Carolina? Was it based just on the playing baseball there? Like, you could have, like, why Coastal? Knowing you're going to be by the beach. Coastal already known for party school. You know what I'm saying? Like, why Coastal? Why you choose Coastal?
It was, at the time, honestly, it was new to me. It was something I heard about Coastal, but in my mind, I'm thinking, like, we all grew up thinking, like, yo, we're going Power 5, like SEC. I got to go South Carolina. South Carolina, Clemson, whatever. But Coastal Carolina just wasn't at the upfront until they actually reached out and wanted to invite me over for a visit and have me kind of check out the campus and talk through offers. And being on campus was breathtaking. It's a beautiful spot. Like, it's really tucked into Conway. You've probably gone to Myrtle Beach millions of times. Had no idea you just passed through Conway, South Carolina, and that's where Coastal was. So that was me. And when I actually got there and saw everything, beautiful campus, the coaches, obviously everyone makes it feel like family, but the team actually made it feel like a genuine love was there and that they actually do pick up each other and the grind behind it. And just being able to understand, like, hey, I will be able to play a role here. I will be actually able to make myself a household name if possible here and just understand this is a great school. Plus, they had my major at the time, sports exercise science, but that didn't really pan out. But no, it was it made sense. And like I said, it was not far from home. The team was actually doing well every year and just kind of on that pedestal, slowly, surely creeping up. So to have a chance to be a part of that was something I was looking very forward to. And they had a new stadium being built that literally got built our freshman year. We didn't even have the stadium completely built, but we started playing games in it just because we had to. So, that school is amazing. I owe everything to it. And definitely a lot of friendships found along the way.
Yeah. Man, tell me what's y'all's mascot name? I have a hard time. Chanticleer?
The Chanticleer, bro. It's a Chanticleer. It's from the Canterbury Tales. Okay? They start you off in orientation. They explain to you, like, hey, people are going to approach you about your school. This is how you pronounce it. So, the Chanticleer, it's a fighting chicken in a folklore tale.
Okay, got you.
Yeah,
man, that
and
Every time I'm trying to figure out how do you say it? I'm like Chanticleer, but it's Chanticleer. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
they
with you.
just started pronouncing it right on ESPN, so we're that's how I know we're doing well. They just started getting our name right.
Hey, y'all making big y'all sports there is making big headway. I don't know what y'all doing, who y'all hired, but y'all doing a great job, and it's good to see South Carolina schools kind of be represented on the big time. Besides Carolina and Clemson, but those smaller schools just being represented. That's always dope to see. And I know it's fun for the college. I know things get live on campus. When you start making big noise like that. So that's dope. Just tell me, some of the, if somebody was to go to Coastal Carolina, give them a little bit of piece of advice on how, what they should do or be aware of, going like, did Coastal provide you with great resources, that led you after school? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know as an athlete, they look at you, oh, he's an athlete. He's going to be taken care of. He's, he has his own little niche group, group of people that'll work with him. But did Coastal provide you the resources to help you with life after sports or just after you got your degree?
It did, but not directly from the school itself. It was from the people at the school, honestly. It was a place where, unlike most Southern schools, we actually had a lot of Northerners come down, a lot of people from the West Coast, a lot of international students. And being able to be around that many different cultures and different personalities taught me a lot about life. And it gave me the, knowledge I need to know going forward. Like, hey, this is how we need to move going forward. This is how we need to talk to people. This is how we need to do business, things like that. But the school itself, it offered amazing resources in a sense of I had everything I needed from an education standpoint. Obviously, I knew my plan. Being a pretty organized person in life, I knew exactly what I was trying to accomplish. So, like you said, being an athlete obviously had certain advantages. My student advisor was amazing, Coach G. Just a great life coach, and having people like that in your corner and actually want to see you succeed was definitely another push that kind of helped me excel in that school. So I guess, they had the resources they had were the personnel. I'll always be thankful for the people at Coastal.
Awesome. It's good to know. So listen, if you're listening, Coastal seems like it's a great school. Obviously, just like any school, if you got to go in with a plan, stay focused. But if you go in there and make the right connections, you can, people are willing to help you. And so I think that's one of the most important things. I know a lot of times I speak to people, they feel like, I went to school and I'm not even doing nothing that nothing in my field or in my degree, and I feel like that's sometimes due to a lack of resources provided by the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we get this degree, I still think at, I can't remember when I graduated, like 21, 22, you still need some type of guidance that get you like, all right, this is what you need to get you a job to get in this field. But it's sometimes it's so saturated, people not, retiring, or there's not really a lot of opportunities opening up. So people have to repivot and do something different. So like, what's the solution? How can we fix that? And I think it just comes down to how can we put people in places that will give them the resources. You know what I'm saying? I talk to a lot of HBCU guys on the show, and they rave about their HBCU, like the nepotism of being able to, because I know Dr. Sparks over here.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Sparks, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, well, let me put you in the door. Let me show you the right people that you need to talk to. That's the type of stuff that I feel like the podcast can offer, like giving people, letting them know, like, this is a place you want to go. This is how you do it. So it's always dope. But going into, graduating from Coastal, what was what was that like? What did you do after graduation? Did you hop into the Miami Marlins thing after graduation? Was that like your first job, or did you have something prior to that?
So actually, the way after graduation was tricky because I actually was one class away, if I wanted to be, from graduating early.
Okay.
From my undergrad. So they gave me the option to take it. I said, no, I'll relax, but obviously needed a full course of classes to actually stay active on the team. So they gave me what they called senior privilege. Okay. So I was able to start my master's program during my undergrad, essentially.
Wow. Okay.
So I had my one undergrad course, and then I had 3 master's courses that I was taking already. So at that point, it was, once I finally got my degree, undergrad in May, I was like, listen, I'm already here enrolled. I got courses already started. I might as well just keep going. So stayed on track, actually enrolled in an MBA program there, and finished out, I'd say, the rest of that fall semester. And I actually started realizing, hey, I need to get some internship credit, get some work experience, especially since I played baseball all my life. I hadn't had a job till I stopped playing ball. So, I decided, hey, what's a way to stay in the game, stay activated, but still kind of stay in the business mindset as well, which kind of led me to a front office internship with a professional team. So was able to explore that route, different teams, started doing the interview process. I flew down to Miami on a Tuesday for an internship fair. Skipped class, paid for it. Obviously, my parents went half on me, actually, thankfully for them, and spent the day in Miami doing 7 interviews with different departments while I was down here for a fair. So came back up. They gave me the call in like November. And from November, I had to be there in January. They gave me a month to figure out how I was going to convert all my new classes for next semester into online classes. But they worked with me, like I said, great school, and was able to let me start my internship and continue my master's program. So everything kind of just lined up and worked perfectly.
Dang, that's dope, man. Like that's super dope. Just to be able to be like I forgot what you called it, but just like a super senior privilege. Being able to start that MBA process early. What made you decide to get your MBA? Was there a particular reason? You seem very methodical, and so I'm trying to figure out, what prompted you to say, I'm gonna go get my master's degree in business administration?
That was something I wanted before I even graduated high school, to be honest with you. It was like that desire for higher learning, and at the time, that was something that was, I guess, necessary to try to get that next step up. I guess whenever coming out of college and trying to look for a job and things like that. So it was obviously just something I wanted in my heart, and just something I knew I could work hard for. So I had that preset before I even went to college, and knowing that they actually have an MBA credit program at Coastal. So knocked that out, and like I said, just kind of worked head in hand. But it was more of confirmation of what my dad's always told me about, hey, do it now, because when you get done, you're not going to want to go back.
Yeah.
He's finishing up his doctorate now, my man. Like I told you, he dropped out in high school, but he has now gotten his undergrad, his master's. He has got 2 masters, actually, and is working on his doctorate now. So I'm trying to catch up with him. So at one point, there's going to be a couple of Dr. Crumps in the house. So we'll work on that eventually. But that was my whole planning so far.
Yeah, that's hard, man. I lead a school to y'all. Like, I love to learn. I love to learn. I just hate being under the stress of having to perform for the education, but people are really good at it, and I want people to go for that, higher learning, higher education, especially if you can do it now while it's fresh. Go ahead and do it, even if you're not fresh. My mom had to go back to school with 2 kids, so it was like, if she can do it, I know anybody can do it. You just got to really put your head down and grind towards it. So
exactly, and just not even cut you off, but just kind of some advice to people who actually want that post secondary degree and obviously don't have the time and resources. Try to look for jobs that are offering that tuition reimbursement program that gives you a chance to work, but also have someone pay for your education in advance. It's been something I've learned, obviously, working, but everyone's starting to offer it. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity.
Man, that I did it. My job actually does it. And I tried to get my MBA, bro. I was close, but I'm going to tell you what happened.
All right, let's hear
it. I was taking like 3 classes at the time. I did good on my top 2 classes, and then I had this 3rd class, and I'm like, this teacher was I think it was the teacher, because I passed my other 2 classes, but then I don't get to pass on the 3rd one. So I'm just like, all right, what's going on? And I think for me, when you do the tuition assistance, the thing about it is you can, obviously they'll pay for it, but it comes with stipulations. You got to have a certain grade, or if not, you got to pay it back. So
definitely read the fine print.
Yeah, read the fine print. And so I had this teacher. She was just on me. She didn't like some of like my written work and stuff like that. And I was just like, dang, like I don't know. At this point, I'm getting my girlfriend at the time to write the papers for me, because I'm like, I can't do it. Like, can you please help me? She's like,
your resources.
Yeah, she helped me once, and she was like, I'm not doing your work. This is your degree. I'm not doing it. So I'm like, all right. So then I tried to do it, and I just ended up messing up. And I got a D in the class. And so you got to have a C or above. I got a D, and I ended up having to pay out of pocket. Once I paid out of pocket once, I said, I'm not doing this no more, because now
I can't do it again.
The pressure on me, because now I got to pass every class, or I'm going to have to come out with $1,500. I'm like, nah, this is not it. But I can still get the opportunity to go back and kind of finish. And, who knows? I might do it if I'm up for the challenge. But talk to me about, what you're doing now. You're a coordinator with the Miami Marlins. Like, how'd you land that job? What you doing? Like, give me the breakdown. I want to know what it's about. Because when I see Miami Marlins, I used to have a Marlins jersey. And cold, you know what I'm saying? Cold. So I'm like, what you doing?
Nah, it's a great opportunity. I obviously love the game of baseball, so being around it was easy adjustment. But I got into it whenever I first got my internship working in community outreach. My main focus was youth baseball and softball, and just being able to grow that throughout all of South Florida. So currently I'm the coordinator of the Marlins Youth Academy programming, and we do programming all the way down from Key West all the way up to Palm Beach County, which covers 4 different counties of South Florida. So we do programming for ages all the way from 4 years old to 18. And it's more of the well-roundedness of obviously being a great athlete and trying to obtain that next step in playing collegiately, but also just being a well-rounded person. We do different clinics, workshops. We just actually hosted a coach workshop last night at our stadium. So just being able to kind of give back to, obviously it's a community that didn't raise me, but something that's already accepted me as one of its own has been a pleasure on its own. So being able to just give back to that in all aspects is definitely something that I take pride in now. But my main focus, like I said, is just trying to pass as much knowledge and insight as I can to the next generation and see how they can take it and run with it.
That's dope, man. So what does somebody like who would fit the mold of that position, right? Like, and what I mean is, like, what type of person, you have to be to say, all right, I want to be a coordinator with the Miami Marlins. Like, do you have to, is it something like, all right, I like baseball, so I want to work with the baseball? Or is it, okay, I like community service work, I want to be able to reach out, be able to help the community in any capacity possible? Like, who is looking to be a coordinator with the Miami Marlins? Like, how did you know what I'm saying? Like, who is your target person that you want in that position?
Well, the crazy part is the front office is so broad, and it's a business. So obviously people usually see the team aspect. They see the operations, like basketball team operations, player operations side. But it's a whole nother side of it, which is the business operations of it. And realistically, you don't even need to like the team or the sport to play. It helps, obviously, to be a fan of the sport, and it helps to adjust and do your job well. And being on a team that you support and that you actually have something in common with helps. But no, in the end of the day, as long as you know how to do a skill, whether it's accounting, HR, marketing, community outreach, sales, it's all relatable just because it is, like I said, it's a business. It just happens to be tied to a sports team. So no, if you are pursuing any career, like we have a legal team, we need attorneys, we need representatives on that end. So just not really understanding that, or giving more insight into the fact that it is an actual organization that requires more than just a few players that can make some millions. You know what I mean? Just that.
Yeah, smaller pieces on the back end. So let's just say if somebody wanted to, if they see you like, hey, I saw Josh Crump on your show. How do I get into that particular field? Like, what's my first step? How do I make myself a proper candidate for a team or that type of role? Like, what are some steps that you can give them to kind of help them get things moving in the right direction?
You gotta outreach. You gotta start networking. You gotta spend some time on LinkedIn. You gotta understand exactly where your efforts need to be placed. If you understand what your job requires, the skill level that's actually it's going to take to accomplish that, then you need to find out where that's being appreciated. You need to take the time and do your research, essentially. Find out exactly what companies are able to offer that type of position. One, you have to see if the position's open. You can't. That was something I learned. You can't just create a job out of thin air. They're not just going to say, "Sure, you want to do that? Come on board." You got to actually look and make sure the position's open. If it's not open at a certain company, it might be open. Same thing for a different company. So just being persistent, always. Networking is important. Making sure that you have I guess, the confidence to just walk up to someone and say, hey, my name is such and such, and just give the elevator pitch that you need to sell yourself. So, no, that would be my main advice to everybody.
Yeah, listen, Josh dropping gems now. Y'all got to have an elevator pitch ready at all times.
Right.
Elevator pitch ready. And I've been hearing this thing a lot lately. When people say networking, LinkedIn, right? And it's sometimes I was talking to again, I'm out here in Houston. I know got a couple of friends, but I really talk to my wife a lot. And she was saying, but there's a way, like some people aren't comfortable reaching out to people on LinkedIn, or they don't know how to reach out to people on LinkedIn. Like when you reach out to somebody, let's just say when you were reaching out, what was one of those things that you were, saying when you reached out? Was it just like, hey, my name's Josh, wanted to connect with you to see, are you trying to pick their brain? Are you trying to, get resources for like, hey, how do I get in this arena? Like, what are you saying when you reach out to people?
Just being honest with your intentions, having the understanding that, hey, this is not their job to help you get a job.
Yeah.
Understanding like, hey, if they're not quick to respond at that moment, that's fine. They have their own stuff going on.
Yeah.
They don't have no one owes you anything. So they don't owe you a response to start with. But obviously, if they take the time to give you some insight and some, I guess, details into a certain position, definitely appreciate that. But being able to just say, like I said, be honest, be upfront with your intentions, and making sure that you convey the confidence that, hey, I am capable of something that you can put your name behind. Because no one wants to refer anyone that's not going to do a great job, because then it's going to come back to them.
Yeah.
So if you're going to need someone's help, need someone's reference, make sure you're on your stuff and making sure that you're not going to make them look bad at the end of all of this as well.
Yeah. I can't stand that. Like that was always my fear. Like and because I have loyalty to people that help, will help me. When people help me, you know what I'm saying? Like, like you hopping on this show, like this is something that I'll never forget because you didn't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm reaching out to people, I'm like, you don't have to say yes. You could have easily said no, but you said yes. So for me, it's like, I want to do due diligence to make sure that either I set you up for success, I'm prepared, I'm on time, I make the experience as comfortable, as great as possible because you didn't have to be here. Same way, even if in the work field, it's like if somebody hires me, especially like, my last position, I interviewed maybe 6-7 times. I failed 6 times. That's a lesson in itself. But that last time I got the opportunity, that person that hired me, I feel like I owe them because I done got denied 6 times and you said yes. So now I got to really show up and show out because you said yeah when everybody else was saying no. And I think that's just kind of how I'm built. I'm pretty sure you kind of built the same way. But I think a lot of people don't realize that like when people putting you in the certain rooms, you gotta represent. You gotta make sure you
always
on point because it go back to the person that put you on, and you kind of you ruffle the feathers in a relationship if you're not doing a good job. Like, have you ever done anything like that? You ever put somebody on and like it came out negatively, or most of the time you know who to put in, put on?
I tend to know my peoples, and like I know where people tend to fit, and that just goes, I guess, more of my talents of being able to be more organized. So having a better understanding of my surroundings and who I'm actually around, I know who's capable of what and who's actually going to show up if necessary. So no, I've told a few people like, no, I can't do that for you. To be honest with you, like I said, it goes back to being straight up and being honest with your intentions. So they were intent with what they wanted to accomplish, and I was very intent on what I wasn't going to do. So it worked out both ways. But they respected it. It actually worked out better. They found something else. So, like I said, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, you got to be honest and upfront, man. So appreciate that. So we talked about what are some of the give me one thing that you really enjoy about your job, like that really makes you get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, to keep going back to, the Miami Marlins, like what's that one thing that you just like, I love it. And then what's another thing that if you could say something that you dislike, because obviously there's cons and pros to everything. And with this podcast, I do want to be genuine and transparent, because the one thing that you like could be the one thing that somebody else is, I'm not okay with that. And so before I tell somebody that, they may hear the qualities and they hear the good stuff and they're like, okay, this might be something I want to do. They need to hear some of the back end so they can be like, I'm not even going to waste my time because I know this is what comes with the job. So give me the good and the bad.
All right. So working in community outreach and nonprofit, it's one thing, honestly, the best and the worst part about it are the people. Like I said, the one thing that gets me up in the morning is being able to know that I'm going to be able to impact a life. I'm going to be able to make a difference somehow, some way, and I'm going to do some good in this world and leave my mark before it's time to go. You know what I mean? So being able to, like I said, leave my footprint somewhere, whether it's Miami, Rock Hill, New York, just wherever I'm at, making sure I leave that impact with something that gets me going, especially. And working with the support that I love is something I can't take for granted. The sport's given me so much, friendships, opportunities, things like that. So being able to wake up and go teach baseball some days, it's an awesome thing. But also on the back end of that, sometimes you understand people aren't going to be always grateful for what you do. They're always not going to see the hard work that goes into certain aspects of your job, the time and effort put into putting on an event, putting together programming, things like that. So just kind of being patient and understanding, like, hey, you're not going to get a thank you every time. You're not going to get a good job every time. So that would definitely be one of the, I guess, least favorite parts about it. But like I said, all in all, it's a great opportunity. It's a great experience, especially on this journey.
Dope. So be a people person, please.
Yes, be able to talk to people, be able to listen. Honestly, listening way more important than talking these days. People don't want to listen to anything, so definitely get better at understanding how people want to convey themselves to you and being able to give them that space to do that as well. So that's definitely big.
Yeah, great gym. Listen more. You got 2 years for a reason. That's what they say. So, man, we coming to the end of the conversation, man. It's been great, man. It's actually been about 48 minutes in.
Good. Listen, time flies.
Time flies. And so I want to go into one more thing, and then I got a series of questions, right? So I go in at the end. But tell us about the Crump Group. What's up with the Crump Group, man?
Man, the Crump Group was something I was able to put together with a couple of my boys, Josh Massey, Trey Stanley, and Shaq Richardson, my bag. And it was really just something to be able to put our names on and be able to get our own businesses out and flourishing right now. So right now we got one underway, obviously, Legend Drive Hat Company. It's a DBA, doing business as under the Crump Group LLC, but it's a hat company, obviously. Wearing it now, but we got to get you one obviously sent out, no problem. But no, being able to do business with people you grew up with and people you love is something I've always wanted to do, especially growing up around these people already. It's like, I want to continue to see you flourish, but I also want to be a part of that as well. So it's a parent company that allows everyone to be able to follow their dreams and start their businesses and kind of get on their own venture track, but also have a legal entity to do it out of as well. So that's what the Crump Group all in all entails. And being able to put something in my family's name and give back to them as well kind of goes hand in hand with it. So it's a family thing for sure.
Yeah, y'all hard. Y'all doing it big, man. I like that. Like, y'all going on some mafia type stuff. Like, we're gonna have this thing. We're gonna do it.
Keep it in the family, man.
Yeah, do it by the book, and then it's like an umbrella company, so people can, put their own little twist on what they got going on in their creative sense, but do it under the right umbrella to be able to have some of that legal tax breaks, all that good stuff. It gets deep when you get your business. But you definitely need to send me a link so I can get me a hat, man.
I got you.
Definitely want to do that. But we're gonna go into these questions, man. So thank you for talking about the Crump Group, though. I looked it up, and I've been seeing Josh with the hats. Like, I always wanted to know, like, where these hats coming from.
That's our in-house model. I can't even.
That's the model.
He's been doing his thing. He low key back. I want to say early college. He's like, yo, listen, I'm just about to become IG famous one day. I don't know why. And he's been on his modeling game. So it's been hats off to him, and all the work he's done for us has been awesome.
Hey, listen, I don't blame it, man. You can get paid to look good, be a little model. The girl,
exactly.
The men can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Okay, so I'm gonna read off 6 questions. You got 5 seconds to answer each one of them. All right. So, and then we'll be out of here, bro. So here we go. Right. Favorite TV show to binge watch?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The original.
The original. How you like the Bel-Air though?
I don't compare the two. It's a good show. It's definitely I like how they put the new twist on it and made it more current and didn't try to copy what was already made. So definitely hats off to them, but you can never beat the original. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's my go-to.
I love the original too. I'm starting to I love this the new one too. I think what trips me out is when I see Jeffrey so gangster, and then I see Carlton doing cocaine.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my god.
They turned everybody up a little too much on the show, so it's they stuck with it. But it's hilarious. Like you said, seeing Carlton not be as preppy as he needs to be is like, yo, that wasn't it, but I see it what you did there. But yeah,
right. And I it's starting to grow on me. But I was like you, man. Like the original, it was a family friendly show, and I'm like, it's going crazy. But okay, if you could time travel, what period would you go back to?
The 90s.
90s.
90s. I'm a old school R&B guy. Like I like my 90s R&B is probably my playlist is elite.
Oh, you got the playlist too?
Yes, of course.
Ooh, I need to hear that. I need to hear that.
No, I'll send that as well. No, like Aaliyah's the love of my life. It was just a time I felt like love was really in the air and people were like genuine. So being able to be in that time frame would be enjoyable for me.
That'd be dope, man. I definitely go back to the 90s. I'm with you. As like an adult, like
facts,
you know what I'm saying? Like just to be able to catch those vibes, the fashion at that time, like you said, is undeniable.
No social media issues, no like if you need to call me, you got to page me, find coins, you got to like do all this. So it's a hassle. I appreciate that distance of not being able to be as accessible. So yeah, that's definitely dope. 90.
All right, cool. So what's more memorable, movies or music?
Music. It's repeated. I hear it more than once, and it's short, so it's easier to remember in my mind.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. All right, so we got 25 hours in a day, not 24. How do you spend the extra hour?
With my family or talking to my family, honestly.
Okay, so talking with the family. You can never get that.
Yeah.
Never get too much family time.
Never. Those are my peoples. They'll always be there for me, so I like to be there for them when I can.
That's what's up. All right, here we go. So what's a quality people enjoy about you?
I'm consistent.
Consistent? Okay.
I'm consistent. I tend to not ditter away from my journey and try to always stay pretty on track with what I'm doing and try to stay a man of my word. So consistent is definitely, I guess, one way to describe me, hopefully. Yeah,
that's a great trait to have. Like, because you never, at least I know who I'm dealing with, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
every time.
With other people, you get different ends of the spectrum. The last one, you hit on this earlier, so maybe it might be a redundant question. You actually hit on it without me even bringing it up. But when you leave Earth, what will people say about Josh Crump? What do you want them to say? What do you want your legacy to be?
He was a positive human being, and you never saw him down for long, honestly. His life was too short, and you spend time in a negative space and worrying about things you can't control. That's a waste of time in your life. So that would definitely be something I would hopefully people see in my trait.
All right. That's a wrap. Y'all heard it from Josh, man. He did his thing. He blessed us on the podcast. Josh, what we have to do is we always take a recommendation, bro, because that's how we keep the momentum, the network moving. Give us somebody you recommend that's super dope, think, very highly of, think they fit the mold of the podcast and can definitely, bring some value to the show. Who you got? I feel like I know who you're going to say.
You already know. It's my twin. It's my brother, Josh Massey. He's my inspiration. Now, obviously we grew up together the same age, but I definitely look up to him in a lot of aspects of our life. He's doing great things in his career, and obviously just being able to travel with his amazing wife, Jasmine, is definitely someone you need to have on the show. He's got stories for you. Hopefully he doesn't share all of them, but he'd definitely be able to drop some gems for everybody on here.
Yeah, we got to get Cookie's boy on here, man. Big Cookie.
You don't want Cookie on there, though.
Hey, Cookie my dog, man. So Cookie and my dad go back. What you say?
Nah, we can't put Cookie on camera, bro. You know that. We gonna lose the podcast.
Yeah, we might lose it.
Nah, I can't even do that.
Nah, we can't.
But that'd be definitely someone. So definitely reach out to him if you need help. Obviously you don't, but go ahead and tell him to get on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him and let him know, like, look, your boy Josh said you got to come on here. He can be like, okay, I'm coming. I'm be like, all right, cool, because I need to know.
And if he doesn't And if he doesn't mention Legend Drive, we have a problem, okay? So make sure he mentions it before the show's over.
Okay, bet. I got you, man. Well, look, man, I'm going to give you back the rest of your day, man. It was a pleasure. I thank you so much for your time. And it was a dope episode. It was great talking to you. And just know, if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out, man, whether it's deal with the Crump Group, whether it's deal with the hat. Like, I got to get me one so I can go ahead and put you guys on the show, let people know where to get them at. And man, I would love to, as you guys grow and continue to develop in your careers, 4 or 5 years from now, I want you guys to come back and just let me know some of the things that you've learned, to continue to spit game and spit knowledge to the people or kids, watching and looking at this. So, man, thank you so much.
No, man, listen, I appreciate you for having me. Obviously, everyone continue to check out the show. Armand's the guy. He's his family now. Anything he needs, he's got us. He's got all of Rock Hill behind him. He knows that. We go back way before all this started. So definitely on our end as well. If you need anything with the show, don't hesitate to reach out, bro. All right?
Thank you, man. You have a good one, all right?
You too. Be safe.
All right, you too, man.